is unprecedented. Former President Donald Trump indicted in a hush money scandal, the first former U.S. president to face criminal charges. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. The indictment is an extraordinary development following years of investigations into Trump's business, political, and personal dealings.
And now a live look tonight here. This is outside Mar-a-Lago, Trump's estate in Palm Beach, Florida, where Trump supporters are there gathering. Former President Trump was at Mar-a-Lago earlier today.
But prosecutors say they are now working with Trump's defense to coordinate his surrender. A live look at the White House tonight, where Metro Police are monitoring the situation and preparing for any possible protests. They say there's no activity right now, still no comment from President Biden. And a look earlier tonight at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, where anti-Trump protesters gathered after the indictment. Chris O'Connell following all the developments for us tonight. And Chris, what's the timeline here for Trump to surrender?
Well, Jason, former President Donald Trump is expected to turn himself in and appear in a New York court to answer charges early next week. In the meantime, preparations are being made for the first ever indictment of a former president. The Manhattan District Attorney leaving his office tonight after a grand jury voted to indict former President Donald Trump, the first criminal charge ever filed against a former U.S. president. The charges involve hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential campaign. Trump has long denied any wrongdoing on social media, calling the indictment political persecution, and says he believes the witch hunt will backfire massively on Joe Biden. The exact charges against the former president remain sealed, but the DA has been focusing on falsifying business records, a felony charge that carries a maximum 4-year prison sentence. And tonight, the DA and Trump's attorneys are coordinating the terms of the former president's surrender. Obviously, reaction pouring in tonight, even Stormy Daniels tweeting a thank you to her supporters. So what happens now? When Trump surrenders to authorities, he will be treated like every other defendant. A booking photograph and fingerprints will be taken. He will enter a plea, and a judge will decide whether or not to release him. And tonight, the entire rank and file of the New York Police Department are being told to prepare for unrest in the coming days. Jason, Sheba?
All right, Chris, thank you. We want to bring in attorney Lexi Rigdon now for more on what's next.
And Chris gave us a little preview of saying he'll be treated like any other defendant, Lexi. We don't know the specific charges yet. When will we find that out?
That's right. Everything that we know about what we think he's being charged with is a result of people talking about it, giving interviews, leaking it. So we're not going to actually know what the specific charges are until the indictment is unsealed. Right now it's sealed, and it's going to be sealed until likely shortly before or after his arraignment.
All right, well, which we're still waiting to find out. It could be early next week, possibly Tuesday. But this case is not a sure thing, right?
It's not. It's actually a pretty novel prosecution because the DA before Alvin Bragg actually did not pursue these charges. He was pursuing more of the financial fraud and the tax returns. And then Bragg is now pursuing these charges, which is essentially based on fraudulent bookkeeping and hush money paid to Stormy Daniels because of the affair. And the fraudulent bookkeeping, we believe, again, this is all speculation essentially because we don't have the indictment, but the hush money that would be a felony perhaps, and then the bad bookkeeping would be a misdemeanor charge. But this is pretty novel in that it's a state prosecutor charging a defendant with a federal crime. So it's not a slam dunk. And as the old adage goes, you could indict a ham sandwich in some cases. So he is presumed innocent, and the fact that he was indicted doesn't mean he'll ever see the inside of a jail cell, certainly.
And then looking ahead to this court appearance, I mean, it has all the makings of what could be a circus. It's in Manhattan, and it involves a former president.
Right.
And there's nothing really in the history to tell us what to expect. How do you expect somebody like Trump, this court appearance, how do you expect it to look?
Well, love him or hate him, he's a showman. So I think his attorneys have already said he's going to cooperate. So I think he's going to go to New York, and he's probably going to make a spectacle out of it because the theory is that he feels that this is going to energize his base. I mean, I'm sure he'd rather not be facing this, but he feels like a political persecution, and it's going to energize his base. So he's going to cooperate. He's going to get fingerprinted. He's going to surrender himself. There will be a mug shot, which I think in New York is actually not public. We might not see that. But the real interesting thing here is how the Secret Service plays into this, because Because let's say he actually were thrown in jail, which is not going to happen, at least not now. Where would the Secret Service go? I mean, this is unprecedented. This has never happened with a president before. So there are all these questions about the logistics of how this would actually play out with somebody like him.
How do you think Trump's defense is going to defend him here? What would be the likely defense? That there was no Michael Cohen?
It was all Michael Cohen. They're probably going to point the finger at him. I mean, and then there's going to be a problem with, if this ever does get to a jury, with Michael Cohen actually being credible, because he's been convicted of the hush money scheme with Trump. So they're probably going to point their finger at Michael Cohen, say he didn't know what the money was for, and also maybe even try a jury nullification thing and basically say, you know, this is unfair. This is an unfair prosecution.
All right.
This is just one of several looming legal battles for Trump. So
Yes.
We'll see how this one plays out. We'll see how the other ones play out. Classified documents, election interference alleged in Georgia. This sounds like just the beginning here.
It is the tip of the iceberg for his issues.
All right. Lexi, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, unprecedented day in our country's history today. We're staying on top of this. All angles of this indictment. Our coverage continues online and on Fox 29 News app. We'll also have another in-depth look coming up at 10:30.